Hi there, welcome to Books and Me. And in this video, I'm going to show you all the books which I have read in the year 24. So let's start. The first book is India, that is Bharat by J Sai Deepak. So three topics around which this book revolves is coloniality, civilization and constitution. So these are the main content of this book. And I would say you should read this book because it's really thought-provoking in itself, and it shows you how the British came and they reshaped our ideologies, our thinking and our constitution and every other thing. So the author emphasizes on the need for decolonizing our mindset to embrace our Indic culture. I would recommend this book to you all. Please read it just once. The next book which I have read this year is this really thin book, and the title is Hindus in the Hindu Rashtra by Dr. Anand Ranganathan. This book exposes how Hindus are being constitutionally discriminated in their own country via different laws such as RTE, state control over their temples, and injustices toward Kashmiri Hindus. So it talks about 8 different laws and topics which shows you how Hindus are being discriminated. So I would recommend you to please read this book. The next is another simple book by Sir Jadunath Sarkar. So really simple book, and the title is India Through Ages. So as the title says, this book is around India over the ages. So this volume basically comprises of a series of lectures by the author on the history of India. So this is really simple book, and I purchased this from the book fair which is organized in Delhi 2024. So that's it. The next book is Polycoloniality, and this book is really interesting in itself because our whole life we are being taught that only British came and they ruled over us over 200 years, and that's true. In fact, I would not say that's a lie, but that's an incomplete truth, because in this book it shows you how over the Bengal, like the Dutch, French, Danish, German, Swedish, Greek came and ruled. So this kind of exposes the lie which we are being taught that only British came ruled over us. And next is a motivational self-help book by David Goggins, and the title is Never Finish. So this book is kind of, if you are feeling in life that you don't have anything and you are unable to achieve anything, you should read this book and about this guy and his method and his philosophy and his way, how he unshackle his mind and achieve greatness in his life. So this is about that. It's a must read. If you feel that you are lacking, you are depressed, you don't have the energy or capability, please read this book. There's one more book about by this author. I would say please read that also. Those two books are really the best self-help book you can get. Just leave any other book which you are reading. I would say just read about this guy, his life, how he has improved itself from the kind of life he came, and now what he has achieved over his lifetime is really great in itself. So that's why I would say please read this book. It's really interesting in itself. Now again, let's come back to Hinduism. So this is a book I buy, and I purchased this because of its title, Decolonizing Hinduism by Shubham G. Deore. So next book is this which I have read, and the title of this book is The Making of Martyars in India, Pakistan and Bangladesh by Faisal Khosa. Khosa. So this book is revolved around these 3 personalities and how they have achieved greatness in their life, and from this book I got interested into Indra, and especially the emergency part, what emergency is and how Indra have done a whole lot of thing, and his son Sanjay Gandhi especially. I'm really interested in that part after this book. So first I thought let's read about Indira Gandhi first. So for that I have a really simple book. I've purchased this book from National Book Trust of India, and this is a simple biography by Inder Malhotra on the Indira Gandhi. So I've read this book. This is really simple, and after that I move on to the emergency. And on emergency I think I have 4 books with me, or no 4, because just these books on emergency. The first is this really thick book, that is India's First Dictatorship. If you want to understand and learn about dictatorship in India or emergency especially, that is This is only one book which you need to read. No other book you don't need to read. Just this is the only one book. That's why it's really thick in itself, and it gives you a lot of detail which you need about the emergency. And now I'm really interested in emergency, so I've purchased more book. The next book which I've read about emergency is Emergency Retold by Kuldeep Nayyar. And this book is really great in itself because this book is written from the point of view of a journalist. So I would say go through this also if you are interested in emergency. And the last book is For Reasons of State. And this book is by Ajay Bose and John. So this book revolved around emergency era in Delhi. So what happened in Delhi, and whole lot of people involved in like sterilization, like the houses are being demolished by the Sanjay for its beautification project. And I have read about another personality, that is Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri. And this book is really interesting itself, and it's also a movie, The Tashkent File. How our second Prime Minister Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri had died, and still now there no answer what happened to him. So this book is great in itself, in its content. After that, a book on armed forces, that is Our Armed Forces by Lieutenant Colonel Gautam Sharma. So it taught you the basics, everything about army, air force and their journals and the war which India has taken part in, and every other thing about the defense. Next is another book on being a Hindu. So this book is Am I a Hindu? The Hindu Primer by E.D. Vishwanathan. This book is a kind of question answer between a son and father. So the son asks question, father answer it. So it contains all the basic question which as a Hindu you have in your mind and you want their answers. So it's a read. I would recommend it if you want your basic answer about Hindus, Hindu culture and religion to be answered. Please read this book. The next book which I have read is Waiting for Shiva by Dr. Vikram Sampath, and this book is really great in its content, and it revolves around the Kashi Vishwanath temple and its destruction, and over which the Kashi Gyanvapi mosque arrives, and it goes around the whole case. So Dr. Sampath had started from its ancient history and till the case. If you are interested in this Gyanvapi case, so I would say please read this book. The last book which I am reading now is this, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, a simple biography of his life. Because now I am interested in the life and especially the death of Subhash Chandra Bose. What happened to him or how he died and a lot of other things. I have many questions in mind, especially around the conspiracies and stories of his death. So I have started with this simple biography, and then I would move on to the books of Anuj Dhar and Chandrachud on the Subhash Chandra Bose. And those guys are really great in the content they have about the Bose, and I believe their life they have put onto the study of Bose around his life, his death, his conspiracies, whole lot of things. So I would say if you are interested in Bose, please at least you can watch a podcast of Anuj Dhar. He has given many podcasts. You can please watch those. So that's all about the book which I have read over the last year 24. So this year has been really great in my reading journey, and the next year I'm starting with already Subhash Chandra Bose, and I'm going to read more about Bose, and maybe we can discuss about it more in another video what I'm going to read in this year, that is 2025. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe the video for more bookish content, and do follow me on Instagram. Check out the link. Thank you.